A cup of water?
Absolutely.
This is the heartbreaking story of the mother of Austin Herff, a 19-year-old who went on a shocking and violent killing spree. The details of this case are disturbing. Austin brutally murdered his neighbors, Mishcon and John Stevens, and after stabbing them, he reportedly began eating parts of their faces. Through his mother's perspective, we'll explore whether Austin was truly guilty of murder or legally insane at the time of the attack. This is the tragic case of Austin Herff. Austin was the son of Mina and Wade Herff, and he also had a sister named Haley. According to his family, Austin had been acting very strangely on August 16, 2016, the same day the murders happened. To understand what led to this horrifying crime, we first need to look at the events of that day and what happened before it. If you enjoy real interrogation cases, subscribe to Interrogation Vault. I may not have a huge audience yet, but even a little support from you gives me the motivation to keep going. Let's dive in.
Marqueta, I'm the Martin County Sheriff's Office. I'm the detective that's handling the investigation. He's from the State Attorney's Office, Joe Hendricks. Okay, I know it's a terrible situation, but I want to ask you some questions about the night that the incident happened. When was the last time you saw him? At 8:20?
Something like that.
Okay, where did you see him?
That when I dropped him off at Duffy's.
You dropped him off at Duffy's? Okay, who did you drop him off with?
I just dropped him off in front of the door and he walked in.
Okay. What was he wearing when you dropped him off?
Some white short and a blue polo shirt.
Okay, that's when you dropped him off? Okay, was he at Duffy's already, or?
I was at home earlier and he knocked on the door. And I open it and he walks in and he's just in his short and a sweaty. No shirt.
What color was that shirt?
He didn't have a shirt on.
Oh, he didn't have a shirt.
I think earlier in the day he may have had a white shirt, a white jersey. I don't remember.
Okay. And when he knocked on your door, what did he say?
He didn't say. He just came in and I said, "Where's Haley and Sam?" Because I knew he was out with them. And he says, "I don't know." Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly the chain of events for me going to the kitchen.
Yeah, and
because I was cooking dinner, and I said, "Are you hungry?" And he's like, "Yes." And I think I was in the refrigerator, and I look over, and he's got not a jug, but container of Wesson oil, and he's staring out the window. It's like he's about to drink it. And I just turned. I said, "That's not a drink," and I grabbed it from him and I put it on the counter. I said, "That's Wesson oil." And he turned around, and I don't know if the phone rang and Haley's calling me, but I do notice him getting a bowl, and he gets mozzarella cheese, and he puts a little bit of the oil in it and takes a couple of bites. And Haley's calling me, asking if Austin's there.
Where was Haley? Where was she calling from?
Duffy's.
She was at Duffy's.
And I said, "Yeah, what happened?" And it's like he left. So I'm like, "Austin, why did you leave?" He goes, "I don't know." I said, "Come on, why did you leave?" He goes, "I didn't want to wait." I said, "Well, is the food ready?" And they're like, "Yes, have him come back and eat something." So I said, "Do you want to go back and eat something?" And he's like, "Okay." And I don't know where he went to get his shirt. I want to say it was the back bedroom by our bedroom. And he got a polo shirt and put it on. And I guess I got the keys and we left.
Okay. And then you dropped him off at Duffy's. Did he have his wallet or phone on him?
No.
No. Where did you see it, or do you know he left it?
I think I asked him. I said, "Where's your phone?" And he's like, "I don't know."
Okay.
Okay.
You called 911 later on that night, and you said that he was missing.
Well, I guess when he took off the second time, they called me. I don't know when they called me and said, "Is Austin there?" And I said, "No. What happened?" "Well, he took off again. Whatever altercation he had with his dad."
Was he angry at his dad?
I don't know. I don't know.
Do you remember the 911 call you made?
I don't know.
Okay. In that call, you said he's walking down Island Way. All he has on him is a knife, and he's acting schizophrenic, acting weird. Do you remember?
I don't remember saying schizophrenic, but maybe. I don't know. What happened is, I guess they're calling me, and I said to Bud, "Let's go look for him." And my friend keeps calling me saying, Sam is worried about him. I said, "Well, which way did he go? Does Sam remember which way he went?" And they're telling me like he's walking towards Church Street. So by that time of night, I said, well, he has to be somewhere if he's walking that way. Let's go take a look around. Maybe he's walking to Alex's, his best friend.
Where does Alex live?
On Waxahachie River.
Okay.
And I called his mom, and they're like, no, we haven't seen him. So we get in the car. I mean, I don't know what detail you want.
I just want what you remember.
We went by the crime scene.
Okay.
And I asked the detective or whoever the police, have you seen my son? I said, he's wearing white shorts and a blue polo shirt. And, there was so much going on. There were like 50 cops there. Yeah. And he's asked his sergeant, hold on. And they said, well, do you know an Ivy? And I said, no, I don't think he knows an Ivy.
Do you know the Stevens family?
No.
You ever met them? Okay. What about the Fisher family? Do you know anyone on that block?
No.
Okay. Does he know anyone on that?
Before we continue, let's first listen to the 911 call so we can better understand what happened.
Police Department Ledger Court. Is this Chrissy?
Yes, I don't know how to do this. My son, he's kind of taken off, and I'm concerned about his own safety.
How old is he?
Acting a little strange. 19.
Does he live with you?
Yes.
Okay, what do you mean acting strange?
It seems like he's a little delusional, or like he's acting like.
Does he have a history of that or anything?
No, this is just like recent change, and that we're noticing. And he was out to dinner with his dad today, and he took off. And we're just, he was with his sister, and he says, he feels immortal and like a superhero. So I don't know what's going on with him.
Do you know if he's been taking any drugs or anything like that?
Nothing. I've asked, and nothing recent that I know of.
So did he leave the house, or did he leave from the restaurant? Where's he last seen it?
From the restaurant.
Which Duffy's is that?
By I-95.
And what city, though? We dispatched for 5.
Jupiter, I'm sorry.
Hold on.
He wants to help everybody. He's headed, last seen was going towards Island Way, going towards north or Church Street. Yeah.
How long ago was this that he left?
I want to say 10 o'clock. It's not 9:30.
And he left on foot?
Yes. He has no ID on him, no phone.
And where are you at, ma'am?
I'm at home, 18421 Lost Lake Way.
What's the street?
Lost Lake Way. And I have to say, I think the only thing he has on him is a pocket knife switchblade.
Is that, where is that, your home? Is that in West Jupiter? Or is that
in the Shores.
And it's Loft, L-O-F-T, you said?
L-O-S-T. L-O-S is in Sam, T is in Tom. Lost.
Okay. Lost Lakeway, okay.
Right.
And your name, ma'am?
Mina Harrouff.
All right, I'll get an officer by that can speak to you and see if they're going to put out a missing persons alert or what they want to do with it. Do you have no idea where he might have went or anything?
I have no clue.
Okay.
No clue.
Does he have any weapons that own or anything like that he would have on him or anything, pocket knife or anything like that?
Yeah, I said he had a pocket knife, like a switchblade type pocket knife. I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's the only thing he has on him.
Okay.
Yeah, he doesn't own any other weapons.
You said he left towards Island Way, and that was around 10 o'clock?
I want to say 9:30, 10, yeah.
Okay. All right, I'll get somebody by there for you, okay?
Great, thank you.
Bye-bye.
One call that he's acting schizophrenic. Is there any history in your family of schizophrenia on your side of the family? Any sign of mental illness on your side of the family?
I mean, we always used that my brother was.
But did he ever get treated?
No.
No medicine? What about your son? Did you ever treat him for any?
No.
No. Okay. How was he doing in school prior to?
Perfect.
He did a summer semester, and I understand he did very well in it. Okay.
I don't even think he told me his grades because I keep asking him so I could transfer them and but.
Okay. What about his fraternity brothers that were in the neighborhood looking for him? Did they mention anything to you that he's acting strange?
Nobody had.
Nobody had. Okay.
But in the past, I had called Alex's mother and said, "Has Alex noticed anything in Austin?" And she said she'll ask him and call me back. But that was maybe 2 or 3 days prior. Okay. I don't remember.
Also, in your 911 call, they asked you if he's on drugs, and you had mentioned that yes, he has been on drugs, but you don't know if he's been on drugs lately. Do you know what kind of drugs he was on?
I mean, I know he did marijuana.
Okay. Did he do an excessive amount, or was it just social, if you could even call it social?
I don't know. I mean, he hung out in his room.
Okay.
So
Dad said that about 2 months ago, he also found him doing mushrooms. Do you know anything about that?
I don't know if anybody found him doing mushrooms. Okay. He said when we made him clean everything out, he brought mushrooms. I didn't see it, but I let Bud talk to him, so he wasn't embarrassed
Sure.
in front of me.
Sure.
And he brought the bag out, and Bud says, there's mushrooms, like just a one or a half, I don't know. And I asked him when was the last time he did it. He goes, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago.
Okay. Do we know where he was getting the drugs from? Dad had mentioned that there's a kid that he asked you not to hang around with. Do you remember what was his name?
Nick Melise.
Nick, yeah. You think it could come from Nick?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you know Nick's family?
I don't know.
Are they good? You don't know that? Okay.
I know he's had a couple, and so he hangs out with my kids who, get away to be in a better place. Mm-hmm. But lately, all his troubles he's putting on my kids, and I tell my kids, I hate doing this, but he's going to bring you down, either mentally or whatever. I didn't know.
Do you think Nick is on drugs?
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay. Your son, how was he as a kid? I mean, he still is a kid, but was he always happy, joyous, good as far as you could tell? Never got into fights in school? Has he ever been suspended from school or anything? No, nothing. Okay.
Nothing. I mean, it's never really any anger issues. Maybe, Bud and I have our spats and stuff,
like
but
any
he
normal
wants
kid
to protect me, you know.
Sure. Has he ever got physical with Dad or?
Dad?
Yeah.
No.
No. When you guys punished him, what was it? Timeouts? What kind of?
When they were little, it would be timeouts, I guess, in the bedroom, but never hit.
You told those police officers, or they asked you if you an ID, right? What happened after that?
I said no, and I said, what's going on? And they said it's a domestic dispute. So I'm like, well, it can't be him. And
what was his relationship with his...
It wasn't. Yeah. But it didn't turn out that
What was his relationship with his girlfriend? He had a girlfriend in school. Yeah. Did you ever meet her?
Yes.
What kind of person is she?
Wonderful.
Yeah, she's a good person. Have you been in contact with her recently?
Yeah.
Did she mention anything about violence or?
No, but just a change.
What kind of change? I mean, I saw his videos. It's like he's acting silly, talking in an Australian voice.
How he always was.
Okay.
And I tell him, take those down. They're silly. You're going to make a spectacle out of yourself. Mm-hmm. But I didn't watch them. So I never saw, I guess, what was progressing. Mm-hmm. And no one came to me and said, Mina, have you seen these? Because his friends, I guess, watched and followed. I don't know. And I know, his friends came to me and said, Mina, or Alex's mom said, Alex said, Austin told him the devil talked to him like 6 months ago, but they just played it off.
Who did he tell that to?
He told it to Alex.
To Alex? And what was this conversation about? That the devil
I don't
saying
know
anything
the conversation.
Specific? Has he ever made mention of that to you or?
The devil?
Yeah. Or anything like that?
I mean, one night, I think it was after Nick went home, he went to work all day.
Where did he work?
At the dental practice in Miami.
Okay.
So
your son or your ex-husband?
My son.
Your son, okay.
He got him a job there.
Okay.
Evidently, I heard he didn't sleep all night because he's trying to help Nick with motivation and, solving his problems. So I don't know if it drained him. I don't know. And he went to work and he came home late. I don't know why. So I assumed they ate dinner. Mm-hmm. So he's like, no, I hadn't eaten anything. So I was making him stuff, and he goes, my purpose in life is to help people. And brings out this brochure like a Jehovah's Witness. Mm-hmm. And he goes, God talked to me. And Bud looked at him and he goes, Austin, God didn't talk to you. You may have had some enlightened experience or something. And that's when it's like, did you guys do anything last night? Mm-hmm. He goes, no, I didn't. Mm-hmm. And that's when we had him bring everything out. And I said, you can't help other people if you can't help yourself. And he goes, you're right. So he went and threw everything out. I don't know if he threw it in the lake or, I just was trying not to watch. So
do you have a lake behind your house? Yeah. Okay. What kind of drugs besides mushrooms? We know of marijuana.
There may have been one or two Vyvanse. I don't know.
What about prescription drugs? Did he have any prescription drugs assigned to him? No? Never any surgeries?
Yes, but I don't think there was.
What was the surgery for?
His knee, when he was a senior in high school.
Okay.
And he didn't really like them.
Okay. Like pain medication?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he was great in school. We played football, no problem, straight A student. What about at home? What kind of changes you notice at home?
I mean, when he came back from FSU, it was, I want to be a rapper. Mm-hmm. I'm like, Austin, you have to finish school first so you could fund rapping. And he goes, I know, but I can make so much money. All these people are doing it and I'm going to be famous. So he started with these songs and I'm like, these songs are vulgar. He goes, but they're funny. I said, they're not funny. I said, and he goes, Mom, that's what people listen to nowadays. And I'm like, I can't relate.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately, he's right. Young kids.
And I just said, I wish you would take it down or change the word.
Okay. He got into working out.
He's always worked out.
He's always okay.
Since he was in football.
Okay.
He was like the number one person in the weight room.
Do you think he was using any enhancements, any steroids, or?
I don't believe. I'll never believe that he's used steroids.
Okay. Did you notice any mood swings to violence, or never? He's always been okay.
Drive from your house to Duffy's after he put on the white shorts and the blue shirt. Say anything during that drive, or was it just...
No, I said, Austin, I'm worried about you. I don't know the exact words. It was just, I want to go to counseling, take you to counseling. Maybe there's somebody outside that, you can talk to if you're uncomfortable talking to us. And I said, will you go? And he said, okay, I'll go. And he said it twice, I'll go. And then I dropped him off.
Does he go to any churches, any houses of worship, anything like that? No?
No, but I've heard he's been reading religious stuff lately. And really reading a lot of stuff, which I never knew. I mean, his friends are telling me.
Does he, is he got a pretty good relationship with your husband? It sounds like is he kind of grown to him as well? What do you think?
They have a good relationship. He loves his dad. And his dad wants the best for him and tries to make him strive harder.
Besides football, did they go fishing? Or,
yeah. But they went bicycle rides. I mean, I think his dad was just trying to, on his time off, taking Austin and, spending time with him to preoccupy his mind or, I don't know, just be with him and talk to him.
When you called 911, you said he has nothing on him. He doesn't have his wallet. He doesn't have a phone. All he has is a knife. Did you see that knife on him?
I didn't see the knife on him.
How did you know he had the knife?
The kids told me.
Okay.
I didn't see it, but he had it in his pocket all the time.
Okay.
And
how did he always have a knife on him, or was it recent?
I mean, there are other knives and stuff, but I've always taken them and put them on the shelf in the closet because there's no need to have it around, and he's never asked for them. So, I think Wade just wanted to there was the gun show and spend time with them.
Most of the time he slept with you in your home?
Yeah.
Does he have his own bedroom? Is there anything out of the ordinary in there that you've noticed, or nothing? He sleeps well?
No, I didn't know he hasn't been sleeping. Okay. I noticed it that night that I told him, you got to help yourself, and God talked to him, and he's like, Mom, lay with me. And, he's 19, it's like,
yeah.
Do you lay with you?
Yeah.
I said, I'll lay here for a minute and I'll let you fall asleep. And, he was going, I think I've read too many motivational books. I don't know how many he's read. And he goes, I did help self-hypnosis. And I'm like, how do you do self-hypnosis? And he got his computer and there was this video, I guess, that came on. I'm like, I don't want to watch that,
Do you remember anything of the video? It
was just this blue, it started with this blue panel. And I'm like, I don't want to watch that. And I closed it and that's, I don't know what else we talked about. I left, after I thought he was comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
And he came back and he's knocking on the door. I'm like, what's wrong? He goes, can I sleep in this? Because his old room was across from ours.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, can I sleep in this room? And I'm like, sure. So him and Bud went and got the mattress
Mm-hmm.
and put it down on the floor. And I left the door open
Mm-hmm.
if he was scared.
Mm-hmm.
And he fell asleep.
Okay.
I think that night he had a good night's sleep.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Maybe like, I don't know if it was the 10th or 11th.
Okay. So it's recent, very recent. And has he kept sleeping in that room? And has it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he said he felt isolated.
I don't want to get in the middle of your investigation, but there's a couple of things that you might want to know that I know.
Sure.
Can you tell them about the incident with the turtle skeleton?
I wasn't there. That was Wade.
Oh,
The kids went hiking.
okay. So Wade can tell you about that. And your daughter's account of when they were at the beach and he was.
Well, that day, like, you didn't ask me what happened from the morning. The night before, we had a family dinner. Everything was fine. I mean, he was just as nice as could be, talking to everybody. And when we left, he said, I want to pick up my car at his dad's. Because that's when they came back from the gun show. And I said, well, can you pick it up I'll drive you and pick it up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay. So apparently that night he didn't sleep well because Haley, he would go into the room and get the dog and try to sleep. And apparently I guess he went up to Haley's room and slept in her room.
Was she there?
Mm-hmm. It was night. So he gets up early in the morning and takes off. And I text him, where are you? He goes, something like, I'm going to get the car, or I may have said, are you going to get, I don't know. And I said, do you want me to give you a ride? He said, no, I'm fine. And he's like, listen, if, I have it on text.
You can read it if you want.
I said, do you want me to pick you up and take you to your car? He said, I'm fine, stay there. Listen, no matter what I say to you, I'm protecting you even when you think I'm evil. Nice guys finish last. This is like 9:30 in the morning. And I said, what does that mean? And he says, fuck off. I said, now that's weird. Can you at least tell me where you are? And I think I called his dad to say, he said this to me, and he says Dad's boat. So I think I called Carrie, his girlfriend, Wade's girlfriend, and was just trying to see if, was he there? And she said, yes, he's doing stuff on the boat. I'm trying to, have him do things because I think Wade was going there to talk to him. And then I don't know what happened there.
Mm-hmm.
She said, they're talking outside, and I guess Wade wouldn't give him his keys, and he got mad, and Wade told me he jumped on the hood, and I guess he finally gave him the keys, and he drove off, and he came to the house with I don't know if he picked up Sam and came to the house, but I know he said he was going to go get his watch fixed. And I think he was alone. I don't know if he came and got his watch, I don't know. And then he went to the jewelry store.
Mm-hmm.
I think Wade saw him there too.
Do you know what jewelry store?
I want to say in the Winn-Dixie Shopping Center.
Okay.
Hall. Paul David or something like that. And I think Sam comes over and Haley gets up. It's a blur, but they all leave. And I don't know if they go to the beach. But she texted me, call someone, have him talk to somebody, something like making him an appointment. That's because she said he ran a U-turn red light, saying, I'm invincible.
Okay.
So it kind of scared her, and I don't know if they went to a frat person's house and he was acting different there. She can tell you the account, which they never told me until after everything. But she did tell me that he also, when they went for this walk, because I guess they went after Wade's work and they all met to go to a walk in the woods, like off Island Way. And he would like step off the curb, but the car is going slow enough, but he's like, I don't know if that was I'm immortal or I'm whatever, superhuman or what, I don't know what the exact phrase is.
Okay. Well, that's them.
And I texted Haley, how's he doing? And she said, fine, the walk is doing him good.
Okay.
Like maybe it was clearing his mind or, and that's the last I remember until he came home.
Okay. I don't have any other questions.
No, it's great. Thank you. Thank you for your
Thank you. I'm sorry you went through all this. It's got to be difficult.
There was one other thing and this is hearsay from her daughter, but he said that he believed he was something other than human.
I don't know if that was at the beach or at the friend's house. She was driving, and I guess he was going to get in the car, and he opens up the back. I think they were in a Kia, and he was in the back part sitting there saying, I don't know if he was starting to get into signs, like astrological signs. And he's a Sagittarius, and he felt like, I don't know, a dog? I don't remember. Something
He
like
said
animal.
that to you or said that to someone else?
Haley.
Okay. Well, I'm going
To
to
Haley
interview
and
her.
Sam.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And we'll get to
And,
that.
they didn't tell me that till after everything,
Okay.
Like
So he was
how
talking about his
wrong he was
astrological
asking.
sign, that his astrological sign is a dog.
And he was telling them about theirs or, when he looked at it, I don't know.
Okay. I'll get that from him. Okay. I don't want to keep...
I mean, I'm sure there's more. It's just, I don't know how much further back.
If you remember anything or if there's anything you want to talk to me about, please feel free to call. I'm going to get a card for you before you leave, one of my cards. And it's tragic. So if there's anything that I could do or we could do for you as a department, we have a chaplain here if you'd like to speak to. Whatever we could do for you too, okay? It's unfortunate, but...
I know.
Okay.
It's horrible.
I'm sorry.
After hearing the mother's side of the story, detectives then speak with Austin's father, Wade Herff, to understand Austin from his perspective. Since Wade often argued with Austin and spent a lot of time dealing with his behavior, investigators believe he may be able to explain what was really going on with him.
Me that night, Eugene Marqueta. He's from the state attorney's office, Jeff. So what our intentions are is just to see what his state of mind was, what was going on throughout everything, okay? So the night that the incident happened, when did you first see your son?
You talk about in the morning?
Whenever you saw him. I don't know if you saw him in the morning, at night.
Yeah, I think it was about 12 or 1 o'clock, and I said, let's go on a hike. He had my daughter, my daughter, him, and their friend in Austin.
Okay.
And we were walking through the woods for about 2 or 3 hours. And Austin would be happy, he'd be quiet, and all of a sudden I saw, look, there's a tortoise shell. It's empty.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another one. And he goes, stop everybody. And he gets his knife, and it's about this long.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, stay behind me. I feel something is going to happen here. I said, put that damn thing back up. What the hell is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't. And so then,
Do you know what kind of knife that was?
with the switchblade,
Is that the knife that you bought for him at the?
he bought it from him.
Oh, he bought it for
At the
himself.
gun show.
Okay, at the gun show. If I show you a picture of the knife, could you say whether it is or it isn't? It's got a little blood on it. Is that okay? Okay. You can make it bigger or smaller.
Yeah, that's it.
It's green knife.
Green.
Best I could tell. That's the knife he had.
Yes.
Okay.
What's that? About 3-inch blade?
Yeah, looks like about. Mm-hmm. Okay, so he, what did he say was going to happen to the turtles? Anything?
And when he acted like he get behind me, I think something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And what I was doing for the last 2 weeks is trying to joke him out of it,
Mm-hmm.
the psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, put that away. You're crazier than hell. Stop.
Okay.
And so then after that, we continued to walk, and we went into a clearing of the residential thing, and he decided to run. I sat there and watched him from afar sprint about 2 or 3 miles
Wow.
at once.
Quick?
Quick.
Yeah.
And so he's totally dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided we're going to go. I think he did get some iced tea, and he drank it.
Mm-hmm.
One glass of iced tea.
Okay.
Till like he's going to the bathroom and left. Find out he's at home. Mother says, what are you doing? Gets him. She said she's cooking, and she looked and grabbed the thing of Wesson, and he was going to down it. She goes, stop. And he grabbed the Wesson, put Parmesan cheese in there, poured it in there, ate the Parmesan cheese. Okay, she's never seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
Then she gave him a ride back to Duffy's.
Mm-hmm.
He comes and sits down. And I said, I wonder if it's going to be on tape today. So I said, what the hell are you doing? And he didn't say nothing. So I grabbed him by the collar, and I said, what the hell are you doing? And he goes, and my girlfriend says, Austin, don't. And he looks at my girlfriend, embarrassed, leaves.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, Jesus, did he seem agitated, or he just seemed weird when you grabbed his shirt?
He seemed weird.
Okay. Did he get agitated after you grabbed his shirt?
Yeah,
Did he
hit me.
Yeah. Okay, but
For
then
the first time.
okay, so he's never hit you before. He's never raised his hands to you
Never
or
done
anything.
that.
Okay. You said something about psychotic or psychosis, something like that. Is there any history in your family as to mental illness or anything like that?
Yes.
There is. On who?
My sister,
Your sister, and she's being treated.
she was treated.
She was
She's
treated.
fine now.
Okay. What kind of illness?
She had severe depression.
Okay. Anyone else in your family? Yourself? Okay. Depression?
Yeah.
Okay. And you were treated and everything else? What about grandparents or
No.
anything like that? No. Okay. What about him? Has he ever seen a psychiatrist or been treated
I
for?
don't think he has.
Okay. Was he on any kind of medication?
No.
No. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay. So how was his childhood? Was he good kid, normal kid?
Yeah, he's happy and
Never suspended from school for fighting?
Never.
And,
he's
okay.
a very docile, shy kid.
Uh-huh.
And I was a nerdy kid myself.
Yeah.
And I dropped him off at Suncoast weight room. And he became a good football player and a weightlifter and everything. And fit in, you know.
Sure.
Beforehand, he was just too shy, you know.
Yeah. Did any drugs? I know you guys had like an intervention with him. You found some mushrooms.
I asked him about that.
Yeah.
Because he's been weird for about 3 or 4 weeks around me, and I said, did you do mushrooms? He goes, I did about 3 months ago. I said, nothing recently. And there's this little homeless kid that they feel sorry for, that they have come over. And then he cut these crazy ass rap songs. And according to my friend who was working with him, he was working in the dental office at the last.
Is it your dental office?
No, a friend of mine's dental office.
Are you still practicing?
Yes.
You are? Okay.
He said he'd been weird ever since he had that kid spend the night with him. And so I went
How long ago was that?
That was about 2 weeks prior to all this. And the dude's name is Nick, and he lives in, his parents threw him out of the house, so he's been living on his own down the street, and my kids were his friend, and I thought he was a negative influence. So where was I headed with this?
About the drugs?
Oh. I get wind that he can't sleep, pacing the floor the latter days. And so I try to get him some Valiums or sedatives.
Whose Valiums are those?
Mine.
Yours? Okay.
And he gets, I give him to him and he throws them on the floor. And he goes, I will not be controlled by you. So I went and grabbed the keys out of his hand.
When was this?
I think Monday.
Okay.
And he's pissed off. And he jumps on the hood of my car and dents it. And so I finally decided to give him his keys back so he didn't damage my car any further.
Yeah.
And I wrote him a text on my phone to, I said, you damaged my car. His one-word answer, learn.
That was from him to you. Has he ever expressed himself that way to you? Or?
No.
Okay, that was just that day.
That was that day.
Okay.
And,
At this point, it seemed that Austin was influenced by negative people, a strong family history of mental illness, and a severe psychotic episode that pushed him to commit these horrific crimes. On October 3, 2016, after spending several weeks recovering in the hospital, Austin Herff was released and taken to Martin County Jail. He faced charges including 2 counts of first-degree murder, attempted murder, and burglary. Then, on June 17, 2019, Judge Bauer rejected a request from Austin's defense attorney, Robert Watson, who challenged Florida's insanity defense law. The law required Austin to clearly prove that he was legally insane at the time of the crimes. Austin is now being held in a secure state mental health facility, where doctors hope treatment and time may help him improve. Even today, many people, including the victims' families, still debate whether true justice was served. What do you think about this case? Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching.